What is up, guys? This is Steven Turner, back with Turner Fishing, back with another episode. Today we're going to go to the top 5 ways to catch crappie on a pressured lake or a lake that has a lot of boat activity or just it's hot, it's summertime. I mean, jet skis, battleships is what I call them, tuber skiers, everything that, you know, you're out there rocking in waves. But yeah, stay tuned. We're going to go over the top 5 tips for crappie fishing that I can give you. Alright guys, so if you're like me, it's like noon right now and I'm home from fishing because today is 4th of July and there's a lot of boats out there. Thank you to all the veterans and the actively serving overseas or anywhere in the country. I do honor you and thank you for serving this country because that's awesome. And it takes a hell of a person to do what y'all are doing out there, and I so heartily thank you. But so top 5 things that I could tell you to help you catch more crappie in the summertime on a pressured lake or even on a holiday like today, 4th of July. So the number one thing you want to do, you want to go finesse. I'm talking 2-pound tests, 4-pound tests, like monofilament, or, you know, I use the green Mr. Crappie 4-pound test because it's virtually invisible underwater. Even when, like, well, it's not like virtually invisible, but it's like 6 foot of visibility. You're good with that. You want a smaller profile. Like normally I throw a 2-inch flick tail and I'll go back down to a 1-inch, not a 1.5 ugly green, and you know, a smaller jig head. But at the same time, if you got a lot of waves, it's hard to get that jig down, so you may need to use a split shot in order to get it. But use like the smallest split shot you can find. You just want that bait to fall. You still want it to fall slow because I mean these fish are going to be finicky. So you want that bait to fall slow in the water column so it stays in the strike zone longer. And that's the main thing that I see when I see other people fishing for crappie, and say I'm at a bridge and they're on another pillar and I'm over here catching, you know, 5 till they're 1, and they're looking at me like I'm crazy, and then they move pillars and I go over there and do the same thing on their pillar. They're not taking their time. They're using too big of jig heads. They're using too big of jigs. They're just buying stuff at Walmart. Like, I use a lot of stuff at Walmart. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with Walmart. But fish stalker jigs, buy them, use them. They will catch you crappie, as many as you want. My dad catches probably thousands every year. Now, I don't crappie his fish as much as him, so like if I could get him to give you 5 tips, I would, but he probably wouldn't do it. But if you join his Facebook group, he will take you fishing. So that's another thing. But crappie fishing on Lake Murray, or Lake Murray crappie fishing, you gotta look it up. His name's Benny Turner. Alright guys, I had to do a lot of searching. It's been probably an hour or so. But we got one. He's not a keeper. But it's a start. There's a lot of fish here, so we should be able to catch a pretty good many. Anyway, my second tip would be, normally when you crappie fishing, you catch 1, 2, 3 back to back to back. They'll scatter. It'll take them 5-10 minutes to come back. When you got a lot of waves and the wind's blowing and a lot of boat activity, they tend to ball up more. Like, if you look on the graph, they'll be in one spot in that brush pile or a tree. They'll be just right there. And if you can find that perfect cast to hit where they're at, make that cast, you know, 10, 20 times, and you're probably going to catch more fish than you normally would have if it wasn't like a holiday or a day where a lot of boats are active. Ooh, we rocking in the waves now, guys. Welcome to 4th of July. Oh, Lake Murray. Jesus Christ. We out here in the middle of it. Ooh-wee. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Even though the lake is heavily pressured, alright, anyway, even though the lake is heavily pressured and we got all these little fun weekend boaters out here, we still catching brush donkeys out here on Lake Murray. Number 3. So, in the video clips I'm showing, the first spot that I stopped at was, when I first got there this morning, it was, I went from 15 to 30. So every spot that, you know, we know that the crappie's normally there from 15 to 30 foot, I stopped. I ran over the graph, I threw, you know, fished it for a good 15-20 minutes on each spot, and they just weren't in 15 to 30 foot. So I ended up going to Clouds Creek, and they were in 12 to 14 foot of water there. They weren't very big. They were like 6-inch crappie, you know, barely, like you could probably catch some keepers out of it, but they were little fish. So, but I kept in my head, okay, these crappie here are 12 to 14 foot. What other brush piles or docks or bridges are 12 to 14 foot? That's where I ended up. I knew another log in the water that produced crappie last year that was in 12 to 14 foot. And when I got there, they were there, and they were good sized crappie. So my third tip would be, if you find crappie at a certain depth and you've got other brush piles that are same depth, run that pattern all day. Because, like, well, maybe, I'm not going to say all day, but most of the day they should be on that same pattern. Now, if the water is like 75 when you get there, then it goes up to 90, no, they're probably going to go deeper eventually in the afternoon. But from the morning time, they should be on the same depth pattern. So today, July 4th, 2018, they were 12 to 14 foot if you're wondering on Lake Murray. That's where I was catching them. My number 4 tip. Now this one I don't do half the time as I should because it's not instinctively, but my dad preaches this. Every time I tell him I catch one, I don't catch any more. When you hang a fish, let him run. Let him run for a good 20, 30 seconds. Just hold him, let him take drag and run. He will fire up the school that's on that brush pile, and you will catch more fish. He will fire them up. They'll get in a feeding, like a frenzy, but they'll start feeding more, and you'll end up catching more fish. Number 5, stay safe. There's big waves. I mean, you've got boats that make waves bigger than my John boat. And you got waves bigger than my bass boat can handle. If you don't think you can take the wave, slow down, don't risk it. Wear your life jacket, do everything, and just stay safe and watch out for other people. Because there's boaters out there that don't know what the hell they're doing. They're out there trying to have fun, which is okay. I mean, as a fisherman, I don't really like the party boaters, but at the same time, if I wasn't a fisherman, I would probably like the party boaters. So let them have their space. Stay to the side. Don't be going up the middle. I mean, just watch out, because there's the ones that's going to hurt you versus you hurting them, because we as fishermen are on the water more. But just stay safe, wear your life jacket, wear your kill switch. You never know what's going to happen. There ain't no sense to be out there on a holiday or any time during the summer. And keep water in the boat. It's 100 degrees. Drink lots of water. But yeah, that's it, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the clips. If you like these types of tip videos, let me know in the comments down below. It's the first time I've ever done them. We're over 50 subscribers now, which is amazing. Amazing. We're about to 60. I am going to do a 50 subscriber giveaway. I just got to figure out what I want to give away. Like, do I want to give away like an old bait caster I got or something? or a bag of lures. What would y'all like? Let me know down below. But yeah, this is Steven Turner with Turner Fishing. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Alright guys, what's up? So this right here, let's see if I can get back over here. So this right here is George. You see him? He's right there. And every time we go crappie fishing for the past probably 7 years, he follows us, and we normally feed him a couple crappie while we're fishing. So I guess he's kind of like a lake pet. But yeah, there's George.